neighborhood. We come here today, and it's tough on us all, but Mom's in a better place. I have some thank yous on behalf of the family. I'd like to thank Dr. Cavender and Dr. Cohen for the care they gave her. They did an awesome job. They did all they could for her. I'd like to thank the Jordan family, especially Travis, coming to us in our time of need. The Moss family, my good friends Brett and Ida and Nate Lanham, the Tolley family, the Kiefer family, the Walker family, the Fitzwaters, the Baileys, the Blosses, my family from Ohio, the Tates, Uncle Don. I'd like to thank my mom's cousins, Frankie and Kathy Coffman, Cobb, for being there for my mother. I'd like to thank Rita Coffman for bringing food out. I'd like to thank John Murray and Randy Christie for helping my mom. I'd like to thank Jessica Cook for being my mom's friend and being there for her. I'd like to thank Karen Medley for being my mom's best friend. I'd like to thank my grandmother, Frances Hill, for taking care of my mother. She couldn't ask for a better caretaker, and that's who she wanted to be her caretaker. And my grandmother spent hours and hours, as she has our whole life, and took care of her daughter. My mom had a rare form of cancer called radiation-induced angiosarcoma. The key word is radiation-induced, and Mom wanted everybody to know this. She had breast cancer, and they did radiation, and the radiation caused this particular type of cancer years later, and it's very rare. It's like looked it up today. I think it's like 1 in 100,035 or something gets it. It's very rare. So Mom just wanted everybody to know that the radiation did cause this cancer, and that be careful on what treatment you take with cancer if you do are unlucky enough to get it. My mom loved more than she did anything else. She loved me, everybody knows that, but she loved her sisters. She loved her. I've never seen a bond that tight than my mother and her sisters. I promise you, if you said something bad about any one of them, they heard you, you were going to hear about it. But most of you guys know that. My mom told me that her and Vic fought the whole time they grew up until they got to a certain age. And then they were thick as thieves. One of my earliest memories was me and my mom lived with Vicky, and Vicky was asleep on the couch, and I thought it'd be a good idea just to smack her as hard as I could in the face. Because I wanted her to pay attention to me, I guess. My Aunt Cindy was always around. She was, actually, me and Cindy are closer in age than what Mom and Cindy are. And she was like my big sister, and she was always there. And she moved away, and my heart was broken, and Mom knew it. And then she came back, and I was the happiest boy in the world. She loved her nephews, Jeremy and Logan. She loves her family deeply. My mother was hard-headed. I mean, super hard-headed. She was very funny. She would catch you with a joke, and you wouldn't even see it coming. It would knock you upside the head. She loved to dance. If a good song came on, Mom would be in the kitchen dancing like nobody's business. She loved music. She loved 70s music, Elton John, the Eagles, etc. She loved her dogs. I gifted her a couple dogs over the years that I had got for me and moved. I was single, was house to house, and she got them, and she loved them like they were her own. Mama hated me because of it. But she loved her dogs. She loved lipstick. And I know that sounds weird, but if you knew my mom, if you were around her for longer than 5 minutes, her lipstick was probably on something you owned. She was the most loyal person I've ever met in my life. The absolute most loyal person. I would be the wrongest in whatever the situation was, and she'd have my back no matter what. Her sacrifice was like none I've ever seen. She had no social life for years because of me. Everything she did was because of me. She took me to wrestling tournaments in the snow, 6 o'clock in the morning, driving, just me and her. We'd get there, we'd spend all day. She had friends like Karen to talk to and hang out with, but that's where we were at. You know, if it wasn't wrestling, there was football. Mom didn't know anything about football. So she sacrificed a lot for me over the years, and I'll never be able to tell her how grateful I was. And last, she was a fighter. Funny story about my mom, we're talking about wrestling. I was on a wrestling mat one time, and wrestling gets pretty fiery if you've never been to a wrestling match, but somebody over here is yelling slam him, somebody over here hears them say slam him, and they get mad, and it's West Virginia, we're rednecks, so, you know. So these people up in the stands, and there was probably 10 of them, up there said something slick, and one of the women said something, and Mom went up in the stands after them, between the men and all of them. Was not scared a bit. My mother would fight a buzzsaw if you plugged it in. That's how she treated cancer. That's how she treated it until the end. I've lost my backbone. My biggest fan. And the reason that I've made it this far in life is because of her. Mom wanted to be remembered. The only thing that Mom was worried about when she was passing, she wasn't worried about dying. She just wanted to make sure that her grandkids remembered her, that she was remembered, that Sailor, because Sailor's so young, she was afraid that Sailor wasn't going to remember her. They ain't going to be in trouble with that. We're going to keep her, you know, in everybody's mind. But that's where Mom was. I just want to thank you guys for being here today. It's tough for me to get up here and talk, but I love you guys. I want to thank Travis especially for coming up and helping with this and giving me, because I was going to back out. I wasn't going to talk. And he gave me a pep talk in the hallway. Savannah helped me. She talked to me too. I also want to thank the Good family for always being there with us and helping us. Thank you, Cindy and Greg. Cindy, I love you. Vicki, I love you. Mama, I love you. Let's go to the house and eat.